We asked him about your performance tonight. Just how good did you feel like that pitch was for you tonight?
Yeah, felt really good with it. I think overall, stuff was really sharp today. Felt like I was throwing a little bit harder, and stuff was playing up a tick for sure. And feels good, starting to get in the feel of things for sure. And I got to do a better job with the walks. That was frustrating, but as we get continue to get deeper in these starts and continue to work, I think I'm getting a better feel for my sights, and the misses are starting to get more marginal. So just continuing to get better and continuing to improve, and so a good start to build off of.
You mentioned those walks. There were base runners, 4 walks this afternoon, this evening. How did you minimize the damage in those circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, just competing. I think, never giving in, and always being, kind of gritty and grinding, and that's kind of the way, you can't just roll out there every time and get easy out. So overall, whenever I'm out there, I'm always trying to compete and never give in, and that's kind of my MO. And that was the MO today. It was just continue to battle, and there was a few ABs there where it was 3-1, and it could have got out of hand, and they were fouling off some good pitches, and then you end up getting some big outs. So I was really happy with that.
What do you think of the job of the bullpen behind you?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are amazing. I think can't speak highly enough about them. Obviously, each guy that comes in throws strikes. Each guy that comes in, gets out, swing and miss, whether ground balls, whatever it may be. They just always get the job done. So credit to them.
How was it finding a rhythm working with JC?
Yeah, I mean, he's great. He is really, really fun to work with. Does a really, really good job. Like sometimes I think everything's a strike when I'm throwing out there, and just because he's so good at like making it look like a strike. So, and then his game calling is really good. He had a really good feel for the game, and he's just very competitive, and he brings your spirit up. He's always smiling and stuff like that, and obviously big homer for him, and just really, really crazy story. So, just a guy you always root for, and it's just fun to go to battle with him.
What's it like seeing him get that homer?
I mean, you can't help but like smile, and we were jumping around, and it's just really excited for a guy like that who works hard, and obviously you can tell just appreciates the moment, and just doesn't take anything for granted, and it's those guys, they're easy to root for, so couldn't be more pumped up for him.
Working with him for the first time, anything extra you do pregame when you talk?
A little bit. I think there's we've obviously thrown to each other in spring training a little bit, and some live BPs and stuff like that, so you have a little bit of feel, but definitely a little bit longer conversation of what we're trying to do, what I like to do, what are my things that I want to see as far as your setups and stuff like that. So a little bit more in depth with that, and he did a really good job today.
Clarke, you had a season high 90 pitches. Just seemed like you got stronger as the outing went on too. Just how important is that in your progression?
Yeah, I mean, that's big. I think obviously continuing to push the envelope as far as pitch count goes and going deeper in games, and I think that's the next thing, and just feeling sharper, starting to feel healthier and healthier every time I go out there. I think the velo obviously was up, and the stuff was playing a tick up, and starting to get the movement profiles that I want back as far as the slider and stuff. I had to make some adjustments in between outings with that pitch in particular, and just really happy with where things are heading.
What were those adjustments, Clarke?
We found that I was kind of getting behind the slider a little bit, so it was really short. I was throwing it hard and kind of getting it to the areas that I wanted to, but it wasn't getting the swing and miss that I typically do. And so, made a slight seam adjustment, I guess, and made a slight cue change with my mentality when I'm throwing it, and it really paid off today. It was a lot bigger and a lot more swing and miss, and a more quality pitch today.